What happens when one of Hollywood's most intense actors sits across from one of daytime television's most outspoken hosts, and neither of them is in the mood to back down? Make sure to subscribe to the Star Talks and like and comment for more talk show coverage. The cameras are already rolling. The theme music fades. The audience settles into that low buzz of anticipation. It's a packed studio, and the energy feels different today. Heavier, sharper. Everyone knows this is going to be interesting. Whoopi Goldberg leans forward at the table, hands folded, eyes steady. "We're back with Adam Driver," she says, her voice calm but direct. "He's here promoting his new film, and we're very happy to have you." Polite applause fills the studio. Adam Driver nods slightly. "Thanks for having me." Joy Behar smiles. "You don't do daytime TV a lot." Adam gives a small shrug. "I don't know." Light laughter from the audience. Whoopi tilts her head. "Is that by choice?" Adam pauses. It's subtle but noticeable. "Yeah, mostly." There's a small ripple in the audience, the kind that says, "Oh." Sunny Hostin jumps in quickly, trying to keep things light. "Well, we're glad you made an exception." Adam nods again. "I appreciate that." Whoopi doesn't move on. "You've said before you're uncomfortable watching yourself on screen. You don't revisit interviews either." Adam looks at her directly now. "No, I don't see the point." The room shifts again. It's not tense yet, just tight. Whoopi leans back slightly. "Some people would say it's part of the job." Adam doesn't smile. "Sure, but I don't think actors owe people their off-screen personalities." A few audience members clap softly. Joy raises her eyebrows. "Oh, that's interesting." Whoopi's tone changes, not hostile but firmer. "Well, when you promote a film, you're asking people to invest their time and money. Don't they deserve some connection?" Adam inhales slowly. "They deserve a good film." A louder reaction now, mixed applause and a few murmurs. Sunny glances at Whoopi. He's not wrong. Whoopi keeps her eyes on Adam. But people connect to stories through people. That's just reality. Adam nods once. "Sure. Through the work." Whoopi presses gently. "And through conversation." There's a pause long enough for the audience to feel it. Adam's jaw tightens just slightly. Conversation is fine. But sometimes it turns into something else. Joy leans forward. "Like what?" Adam hesitates, and that hesitation pulls the room in. "Like pressure to explain yourself in ways that don't have anything to do with the film." The audience quiets. Whoopi doesn't blink. "Are you saying we do that?" Adam shakes his head. "I'm saying it happens. In general. But it hangs there." Alyssa Farah Griffin jumps in, smiling. "I think what Whoopi's getting at is that audiences are curious. They want to understand what drives you. No pun intended." Light laughter. Adam gives a brief smile, but it fades quickly. Curiosity is fine. Entitlement isn't. Now the audience reacts louder. A few ohs. Joy's eyes widen. Entitlement. Whoopi's voice is steady, but the temperature shifts. That's a strong word. Adam looks calm, almost too calm. "It's accurate." Sunny interjects, sensing the shift. "What makes it feel entitled?" Adam folds his hands on the table. "When actors are expected to have opinions on everything. Politics, social issues, personal lives. Sometimes we're just here to do a job." Whoopi nods slowly. "But you're also influential. Whether you want to be or not." Adam responds immediately. "That's not something I asked for." The audience claps, louder this time. Whoopi waits for the noise to die down. But it comes with the territory. Adam looks at her directly. "Does it? Or do we just accept that it does?" The room goes still. Joy lets out a soft laugh. "Okay, now we're getting somewhere." Whoopi's voice drops slightly. "You sound frustrated." Adam doesn't dodge it. "Sometimes, yeah." Sunny leans in. "With media?" "With the assumption," Adam replies, "that if you don't play along, you're difficult." The audience murmurs again. There's recognition in that sound. Whoopi's expression shifts, not defensive but thoughtful. "Are you saying that's happened to you?" Adam pauses, measuring his words. "I think if you don't give people what they expect, they create a narrative." Joy nods slowly. "That's fair." Whoopi taps her finger lightly on the table. "But that's not just actors. That's anyone in the public eye." Adam meets her gaze. "Right. But I didn't get into acting to be in the public eye." A couple of audience members clap again. Sunny smiles slightly. "That's an interesting contradiction." Adam nods. "It is." Whoopi leans forward again. "So what do you want from interviews like this?" The question hangs there, direct, unfiltered. Adam doesn't rush. A conversation about the work. Whoopi responds calmly. And if the work touches on political themes? Adam exhales. Then we talk about the themes in the story, not my personal voting history. The audience reacts, some applause, some laughter. Joy waves a hand playfully. We weren't going to ask that. Adam cracks a small smile. I know, but the tension doesn't fully disappear. Whoopi looks at him carefully. You know, some people watching at home might hear this and think you're being defensive. Adam's expression firms. Defensive isn't always wrong. There's a sharp, collective inhale from the audience. Sunny quickly jumps in. I think what he's saying is boundaries matter. Whoopi nods, but she doesn't back off. And I think what I'm saying is, when you sit at this table, we ask real questions. Adam responds without raising his voice. And I'm answering them. The audience claps louder now. Joy looks between them. This is live television, folks. Light laughter breaks the tension for a second. But Whoopi and Adam are still locked in that quiet, steady eye contact. Whoopi says softly, I'm not attacking you. Adam replies just as softly, I'm not accusing you. The room holds its breath. Sunny smiles nervously. Okay, let's take a breath. The audience laughs. But the air hasn't cleared. Whoopi straightens her posture. Let me ask you this. Do you think talk shows like this are part of the problem? Adam pauses again. It's longer this time. And that silence feels louder than anything said so far. He finally answers evenly. I think sometimes the line between discussion and performance gets blurry. The audience murmurs. Joy raises an eyebrow. Performance? You mean us? Adam shakes his head slightly. Everyone. Me included. Whoopi studies him. So this is a performance? Adam looks around the studio. It's television. A few gasps. A few claps. Whoopi smiles, but it's tight. Well, we are very real people sitting here. Adam nods. I know. And somehow that simple exchange feels like the beginning of something bigger. Not loud yet, not explosive, but undeniably building. The audience senses it. The hosts feel it. And Adam Driver doesn't look like he's going to soften his stance anytime soon. The conversation isn't over. It's just getting started. The applause from the last exchange fades, but the atmosphere doesn't settle. You can feel it, that subtle shift when a segment stops being promotional and starts becoming personal. Whoopi adjusts her glasses and looks straight at Adam again. Let me push back a little, she says, calm but firm. When you say this is performance, that can sound dismissive of what we do here. Adam doesn't flinch. That's not my intention. Joy jumps in quickly. Because we're not acting. We're reacting. Adam nods. I understand that. Sunny folds her hands. But you do understand that when we ask questions, we're not trying to trap you. We're trying to explore. Adam leans slightly forward for the first time. And I'm not trying to shut that down. I just think there's a difference between exploring a topic and expecting someone to represent something. A few audience members clap. Whoopi catches that and raises an eyebrow. Represent something? You mean politically? Adam answers carefully. Among other things. Alyssa leans in. But if your film deals with, say, government corruption, and that's part of the story, isn't it fair to ask what you think about real-world parallels? Adam doesn't hesitate. It's fair, but I'm not a policymaker. I'm not an activist. I'm an actor who read a script. Joy tilts her head. But actors influence culture. Adam gives a small shrug. So do talk show hosts. The audience reacts with a mix of laughter and applause. Whoopi smiles slightly at that. Touché. But she doesn't let it go. Here's the thing. People at home see you in a powerful role, tackling serious issues. Then you come here and say you don't want to speak beyond the script. That can feel disconnected. Adam's expression tightens again. Disconnected from what? From responsibility, Whoopi replies. The word lands hard. There's a visible shift in Adam's posture. Not anger, but focus. Responsibility, he repeats. Sunny nods. When you have a platform, some people believe there's a responsibility to use it. Adam looks at her. To say what? Sunny pauses. To say where you stand. Adam's jaw sets slightly. Why? The audience murmurs again, louder this time. Joy chimes in. Because silence can be interpreted. Adam answers immediately. Exactly. That gets a bigger reaction, scattered applause, a few audible sounds from the crowd. Whoopi leans forward again. So what's the alternative? Everyone stays silent. Adam shakes his head. No. People who choose to speak, speak. But it shouldn't be mandatory. Alyssa nods thoughtfully. But sometimes staying neutral benefits the status quo. Adam's eyes flick toward her. That assumes neutrality is intentional. Sunny responds quickly. Isn't it? Now the tension sharpens. Adam takes a breath. Sometimes it's just someone wanting to do their job without being pulled into every cultural battle. Whoopi responds without raising her voice. But culture is what your job reflects. The audience reacts again, louder, more divided. Adam glances briefly toward the crowd, then back to the table. I don't disagree that art reflects culture. I just don't think the actor is obligated to become the spokesperson for it. Joy nods slowly. But you've served in the military. You've spoken about that before. Adam's expression softens slightly. Yes. So you've used your voice before, Joy continues. Adam nods. About something I lived. Whoopi leans in. So you'll speak when it's personal. Yes, Adam says clearly. Sunny raises a point. What if someone says injustice is personal to everyone? The audience claps at that. Adam pauses longer this time. The silence stretches just a little too long. I think, he says carefully, that sometimes people confuse visibility with authority. Whoopi tilts her head. Explain that. Adam keeps his tone measured. Just because you can see me doesn't mean I know more than you. Joy laughs lightly. That's fair. But Whoopi stays focused. No one's saying you know more. We're asking what you believe. Adam answers, steady. And I'm saying I don't owe every belief to the public. That sparks a louder reaction, applause mixed with a few sharp, oh, sounds. Sunny looks toward the audience briefly, then back at Adam. You keep using the word, oh. That's interesting. Adam nods. Because that's what it feels like sometimes. Alyssa leans forward. Do you feel like we're asking you to owe us something right now? Adam doesn't dodge it. A little. The audience audibly reacts. Joy raises both hands slightly. Okay, that's honest. Whoopi's face stays composed, but her tone firms again. You agreed to come here. Yes, Adam says. You knew what kind of show this is. Yes. And you're surprised we're asking about real-world impact? Adam shakes his head. I'm not surprised. I'm questioning the expectation. The audience goes quiet again. Sunny speaks gently now. Is it exhausting? Adam exhales through his nose. Sometimes. That honesty softens the room slightly. Whoopi notices it too. Exhausting how? Adam leans back in his chair. It can feel like no matter what you say, it's either not enough or it's too much. Joy nods. That's probably true for all of us up here. Whoopi glances at her co-host briefly, then back at Adam. But we keep showing up. Adam replies calmly. So do I. A beat. The audience claps, not wildly but steadily. Alyssa smiles faintly. This is probably one of the most honest conversations we've had in a while. Joy laughs. That's because he's not giving us PR answers. Adam responds dryly. I'm not very good at those. Light laughter ripples through the studio. But Whoopi isn't smiling now. She's studying him. You know, she says slowly, there's a perception that you're aloof. Adam doesn't react immediately. Sunny adds, intense. Joy throws in, mysterious. The audience laughs again. Adam finally smiles, barely. I'm just quiet. Whoopi raises an eyebrow. Quiet can be misread. Adam nods. So can assertive. That line lands. The audience reacts with louder applause. Whoopi's eyes narrow slightly, not angrily, but analytically. Are you suggesting something? Adam shakes his head. I'm saying labels are easy. The room feels tight again. Sunny tries to pivot slightly. Let's bring it back to the film for a second. Your character struggles with public perception too. Was that something you connected with? Adam nods. Yeah. Because of this? Joy gestures between them. Adam gives a small, honest nod. In part. The audience hums in agreement. Whoopi folds her hands again. Do you think we're part of that perception machine? Adam looks directly at her. I think media shapes narratives. That's not controversial. Joy leans in. But we don't write headlines. Adam responds quickly. No. But moments get clipped. The audience reacts with knowing laughter. Sunny laughs too. That's true. Whoopi doesn't laugh. So you're worried about being clipped? Adam's response is immediate. Anyone who says they're not is lying. That gets the biggest reaction so far, applause, whistles, scattered cheers. Joy grins. He's not wrong. Whoopi exhales slowly. So what would make you comfortable? Adam pauses. Nothing. A few gasps. Some laughter. He clarifies. It's not about comfort. It's about honesty. Sunny nods thoughtfully. And you think you're being honest right now? Yes. Whoopi leans in slightly. So are we. And there it is again, that quiet standoff. Neither is raising their voice. Neither is backing down. The tension isn't explosive. It's controlled. The audience feels it. Joy finally breaks the silence. Well, this is definitely not a boring Tuesday. The crowd laughs, but the laughter doesn't fully dissolve the charge in the air. Whoopi looks at Adam one more time and says calmly, "Let's go deeper then." And the way she says it makes the audience sit up straighter. Because whatever comes next, it's not going to be surface level. The audience quiets almost instantly after Whoopi says, "Let's go deeper then." There's no music cue, no commercial break. Just that live TV stillness where everyone knows the conversation just crossed into something more serious. Adam doesn't shift in his seat this time. He's steady, focused. Whoopi folds her hands on the table. You've talked about boundaries. You've talked about expectations. But let's be honest, a lot of actors use their platforms when it benefits them. They speak out when it aligns with a film or a cause or an award season. Then they go quiet when it gets complicated. A low murmur spreads through the audience. Adam's expression tightens slightly. That may be true for some. Is it true for you? Whoopi asks directly. There's a sharp inhale somewhere in the crowd. Adam doesn't rush his answer. I try not to calculate it like that. Joy leans in. But you understand why people are skeptical. I do, Adam says. But skepticism goes both ways. Sunny's eyebrows lift. What do you mean? Adam turns slightly toward her. I'm skeptical when I'm asked to reduce complex issues into 30-second sound bites. Applause breaks out, not overwhelming, but strong. Whoopi doesn't react to the applause. That's fair, she says. But we're not asking for sound bites. We're asking for perspective. Adam nods. Perspective is shaped by experience. Alyssa jumps in. And your experience includes serving in the military, working in Hollywood, being in the public eye. That's a pretty broad lens. Adam agrees quietly. It is. So why not share more of it? Alyssa presses. Adam pauses. The silence stretches again, and you can feel some members of the audience leaning forward in their seats. Because, he finally says, once you share something, it stops belonging to you. The room reacts, softer this time. More thoughtful than shocked. Joy tilts her head. You think it gets taken? Interpreted, Adam replies. Reframed. Sometimes weaponized. Whoopi's voice stays calm. But that's the risk anyone takes when they speak publicly. Adam nods. Exactly. Sunny watches him carefully. So you'd rather avoid the risk? Adam shakes his head slightly. No. I'd rather choose it. That line draws another wave of applause. Whoopi leans back, studying him. You're very controlled. The audience lets out a few knowing laughs. Adam almost smiles. I've been called worse. Joy jumps in playfully. Oh, we've heard intense. Laughter ripples again. But Whoopi doesn't smile. Controlled can also mean guarded. Adam looks at her directly. Sometimes that's necessary. For what? She asks. For survival, he answers simply. The word lands heavier than anything else he's said. The audience goes quiet, really quiet. Sunny's tone softens. Survival is a strong word. Adam nods once. So is responsibility. There's a pause. Whoopi glances briefly at the audience, then back at him. Are you saying the public eye feels unsafe? She asks. Adam chooses his words carefully. I'm saying it can feel volatile. Joy nods slowly. That's probably true. But volatility isn't new, Whoopi counters. Public figures have always faced scrutiny. Adam doesn't disagree. True. But the speed is new. The permanence is new. The audience murmurs in agreement. Sunny adds, social media changed everything. Adam nods. Exactly. A single sentence can define you. Whoopi leans forward again. But isn't that why clarity matters? Adam responds immediately. Clarity doesn't prevent distortion. A few audience members clap. Joy laughs lightly. This is getting philosophical. But no one's really laughing anymore. Alyssa speaks carefully. Let me ask this. Do you think audiences are too demanding? Adam pauses. I think audiences are human. That didn't answer it, Joy says. Adam gives a small breath of amusement. Humans can be demanding. Laughter breaks some of the tension. Whoopi presses again. But you benefit from that demand. People demanding to see your films, streaming your shows, buying tickets. Adam nods. Yes. So there's a relationship there. Yes. And relationships involve exchange. Adam meets her gaze. Exchange of what? Energy. Transparency. Engagement, Whoopi says firmly. Adam shakes his head slightly. I think the exchange is story for attention. not access for approval. The audience reacts, louder this time. Some clap. Some gasp. Sunny interjects quickly, sensing the temperature rising. I don't think anyone here is asking for approval. Adam answers calmly. No, but sometimes it feels like alignment. Joy raises her eyebrows. Alignment with what? Popular sentiment, Adam says. There's a beat. Whoopi's tone sharpens slightly for the first time. So now we're just chasing popular sentiment? The audience reacts audibly, tension rising. Adam doesn't raise his voice. I didn't say you were. I said the climate encourages it. Sunny steps in. But you see how that sounds. Adam nods. I do. Do you think we're unfair? Whoopi asks plainly. Another long pause. Adam looks down briefly, then back up. I think you're direct. Joy laughs. That's diplomatic. But sometimes, Adam continues, direct becomes presumptive. The audience gasps again, louder. Whoopi sits up straighter. Presumptive how? Adam doesn't back down. Assuming that because I'm here, I owe clarity on issues I may not have fully formed thoughts about. Sunny counters gently. But you don't have to have perfect thoughts. Just honest ones. Adam nods. And honest sometimes means I don't know. That line earns one of the strongest applause breaks yet. Joy points toward him. That's actually refreshing. Whoopi studies him again, then says quietly, then say that. Adam replies just as quietly, I just did. The room goes still. There's no shouting. No dramatic music. Just two people holding eye contact on live television. Sunny finally exhales audibly. Okay. Alyssa shifts slightly in her chair. This is what conversation looks like, though. Joy nods. Uncomfortable sometimes. Whoopi doesn't look away from Adam. I'm not trying to corner you. Adam's voice softens slightly. I know, but I also won't apologize for asking, she adds. I wouldn't expect you to, Adam replies. The audience reacts again, not explosive, but engaged. Joy glances toward the camera briefly. You all at home are probably tweeting like crazy right now. That breaks the tension just enough for a few laughs. But Whoopi goes in one more time. Let me ask you something very simple, she says. Do you think celebrities have too much influence? Adam answers without hesitation. Yes. The audience gasps again. Sunny leans in. Too much. Yes, Adam repeats. Joy blinks. And you're one of them. Adam nods. I'm aware. So what do you do about that? Whoopi asks. Adam holds her gaze. I try not to amplify it unnecessarily. And coming here? Whoopi presses. Adam answers evenly. Is talking about a film. There's a beat. The audience reaction is split. Some clapping, some uneasy laughter. Whoopi leans back slowly. You really don't see this as bigger than that. Adam responds calmly. It becomes bigger if we make it bigger. The room hums with tension again. Sunny looks between them. I think the bigger point is that there's a push and pull here. Joy nods. Yeah, you don't want to be boxed in. We don't want to tiptoe. Adam agrees. That's fair. Whoopi finally lets out a small breath. All right, but her tone suggests it's not really all right. Not resolved. Just paused. The audience claps, partly out of relief, partly because they know they've witnessed something rare. A disagreement that stayed controlled but never softened. And as the segment inches closer to its end, the energy in the room hasn't exploded. It's condensed, focused, and everyone can feel that whatever happens next, it's going to carry beyond this table. The applause lingers longer than usual, not because something funny was said, but because the audience can feel the weight of what just happened. It's the kind of clapping people do when they're processing. Whoopi adjusts her cards on the table, but she doesn't look down at them right away. She looks at Adam. You know, she says evenly, this is why we have these conversations. Adam nods once. I get that. Joy exhales dramatically. I need a snack after this. The audience laughs, grateful for the release. Sunny smiles, but she's still thoughtful. I actually appreciate that you didn't just give us polished answers. Adam gives a small shrug. I don't really know how to. Alyssa adds, it's rare. A lot of guests come in prepared to deflect. Adam replies quietly. Deflection feels worse than disagreement. That line lands softly, but powerfully. Whoopi nods slowly. That I agree with. There's a subtle shift in her tone now. Less edge. More reflection. But understand something, she continues. When we push, it's not about trapping. It's about clarity for people watching. Adam listens carefully. People at home, Whoopi says, gesturing toward the camera, are trying to figure out the world. When someone they respect sits here, they want to know where that person stands. Adam answers calmly. And I respect that. I just think standing somewhere publicly isn't always the same as doing something privately. The audience reacts with a thoughtful murmur. Sunny nods. That's an important distinction. Joy glances at Whoopi. I think what's interesting is, this never got loud. Whoopi cracks a faint smile. It didn't need to. Adam finally relaxes slightly in his chair. Not dramatically, just enough that the tension in his shoulders seems to drop. Whoopi looks at him again. I don't think you're wrong for wanting boundaries. Adam nods. And I don't think you're wrong for asking questions. There's a beat. The audience claps, genuine, steady applause. Sunny leans forward. See, that's grown-up television. Laughter breaks out again. But even with the lighter tone creeping back in, there's still something unresolved in the air. Not hostility, but awareness. Everyone at that table knows this moment won't just disappear when the camera's cut. Joy looks toward the monitor offstage. I can already imagine the headlines. A few audience members laugh knowingly. Alyssa adds, clips will be everywhere by the time we're off air. Adam gives a half smile. That's the volatility we were talking about. Whoopi points at him lightly. And that's television. The crowd reacts with applause. There's a brief pause as a producer's voice faintly signals they're almost out of time. Sunny jumps in. Before we wrap, I do want to say, disagreement like this is healthy. It doesn't mean hostility. Adam nods. I agree. Whoopi turns slightly toward the camera now. We don't all have to think the same, but we do have to talk. The audience applauds that line strongly. Adam glances toward the crowd, then back at the table. Talking is good. Assuming is harder. Joy laughs. Put that on a mug. More laughter. The producer signals again, 30 seconds. Whoopi turns back to Adam. I appreciate you staying in it. Adam answers honestly. I wouldn't have come if I didn't expect real conversation. There's a brief moment of eye contact, not tense this time. Mutual. Whoopi nods once. Fair enough. The audience applause swells as Whoopi closes the segment. Adam Driver, everyone. The film is in theaters now. The cameras pull slightly wider as the table breaks formation. Applause continues, but the energy is different from a typical promotional send-off. It's reflective. Charged. Adam stands, shakes hands with the hosts. Whoopi and Adam exchange a brief, quiet comment off mic, inaudible to viewers, but noticeable enough that the audience leans in to see if there's any lingering tension. There isn't hostility, just seriousness. As the show cuts to commercial, the studio audience buzzes loudly. You can hear snippets. That was intense. He handled that well. She wasn't wrong either. Backstage, according to staff later, the atmosphere wasn't explosive. No shouting. No dramatic exits. Adam reportedly thanked the hosts again. Whoopi remained composed but thoughtful. It wasn't a feud. It was friction, the kind that lingers because it mattered. And then the internet did what it always does. Within minutes, clips began circulating. Short segments labeled Adam Driver pushes back on Whoopi, and tense moment on The View spread across social platforms. Some viewers praised Adam for defending personal boundaries. Others applauded Whoopi for pressing him on responsibility. Comment sections split quickly. One side wrote, "He's right, celebrities don't owe us their politics." Another fired back, "If you take the spotlight, you take the accountability." Media blogs dissected body language. Headlines debated who won. Reaction videos popped up analyzing every pause, every shift in tone. But what stood out most wasn't a viral shouting match. It was that no one raised their voice. The disagreement stayed measured, direct, controlled, and that almost made it more powerful. By the end of the day, the segment had become one of the most talked about moments of the week. Not because it was chaotic, but because it felt real. Two people with different perspectives. Neither backing down, neither collapsing into anger. Just tension and conversation. Later reports suggested that producers were pleased with the engagement. The hosts addressed it briefly the next day, clarifying that tough questions are part of the show's DNA. No apologies. No walkbacks. Just acknowledgement. Adam, for his part, didn't post about it. No follow-up statement. No social media defense. Silence, consistent with everything he said at the table. And that silence only fueled more discussion. Was he proving his point? Was he avoiding the noise? Was he standing firm? Viewers debated for days. But one thing was clear. It wasn't a staged argument. It wasn't manufactured outrage. It was a genuine clash of philosophies about visibility, influence, and expectation. And moments like that don't fade quickly. So now we want to hear from you. Was Adam right to push back on the idea of celebrity responsibility? Or was Whoopi right to demand clarity from someone with influence? Did this feel like healthy debate or unnecessary tension? Share your opinion in the comments and subscribe to the Star Talks for more real talk show stories.